Good evening, everyone. Welcome to closing comments here for February 19th. Just jump right into our charts and see what happened in these markets today. First up, we got our April live cattle on the board. Another quiet day here in this cattle market. Prices just kind of hung steady all week long. 3 days of trading here, staying in about a $2 range. This market just hanging on to that opening gap higher we saw here from Tuesday's action. Just hanging steady here. Price did pick up about $1 on the day, closing about $1 higher. Finishing up there at 243.5, briefly poking up above Monday's high here on this April contract. We did see a new yearly high briefly print here starting in June and dating out here into these December live cattle contracts as well. So this market is slowly trying to poke up into some new highs. We are seeing a little bit more strength in these back months, but we should see this live cattle market continue to drift higher. We should see this April contract, who is the front month still, try and make a decisive close here for the week. We want to see the bulls get a nice strong push here out of this $2 range we've been in for the last 3 days. Finishing up there towards 245 or just at a new yearly high would be a nice strong finish here. Good way for the bulls to cap off this week and keep this uptrend rolling. We do still have the momentum flowing to the upside. The uptrend still remains intact. We should see these bulls try and close this week out on a high note. Look for the upside to continue into the weekend. And we should see this cattle market keep on heading up there towards those all-time highs. Next up, our feeders on the board. We are now in this April contract, which is the new front month. Once again, another tight range day here as this feeder market has just stayed steady in about a $3 range, still holding on to those early gains from Tuesday's action, but price just remaining steady here. We are building a pretty heavy concentration of volume in this area. This April contract trading here between about 367 and 369.5. Just a pretty tight little range here as prices concentrating and building up some pressure here. Good support down here at these range lows as this market is continuing to hold that early rally we saw here from Tuesday's action. We should see the bulls keep on pushing this market higher. The uptrend still remains intact and the momentum still favors the bulls. We should see them try and close this market on a high note here as we head into Friday's session. Look for them to try and grind up there into the 370s and see this April contract starting heading up there towards those all-time highs as well. Cattle market remains in a nice strong uptrend here, both feeders and fats. We should see that upside continue here into the weekend and into early next week as well. Next up, March corn futures on the board. Another choppy day here. As price just hanging steady here right around 4.25. Still not able to break out of this multi-week range we've been stuck in here. Not getting much traction from the bears down here below 4.25 as this market did finish back up here around 426 today. At the moment, this market just seems pretty comfortable, pretty sticky in this area. Not really expecting any of that to change. Bears just need to get a weekly finish down here below 4.25 to really get this downtrend rolling. But if they aren't able to do that, we should just see some more choppy action here between 4.25 and 435. Next up, crude oil prices continuing that rally that they kicked off yesterday. Early this week, we did see a test of those range lows down at 62, and we've had a nice strong rally out of there, finishing today's action up above that 66.5 pivot point and multi-month highs here. So this could be opening the door to a nice little up move for this crude oil market. If we get continued bids and finish for this week above 66.5 here, we should see this thing start to target that $70 mark and potentially beyond. At the moment, this market has been pretty rangy recently, but we have seen some strength on some decent volume here in the last couple days. Any momentum here above 66.5 should keep on carrying us up there towards $70 and potentially beyond. But how we finish this week is going to be important. Above or below the top bound of the top end of this range here is going to be the deciding points of whether we start into a new uptrend or keep this thing range bound. Look for 66.5 to be an important level to trade around tomorrow. Above or below should lead the next leg from here. And next up, equity and markets having a pretty quiet day. Nice little inside day here on the S&P and the NASDAQ, just hanging inside that prior day's range. Continuing to see a little bit of resistance from those major moving averages as we are now trading below them, both here on the S&P and the NASDAQ. NASDAQ not able to reach up there into it yet, but last week's rejection of them continues to keep this market in choppy or bearish territory here. We still have yet to break out of these lows that we've had over the last 3-4 months here. So if we do start to fail down here below here and this 200-day moving average, that will kick off a nice little downtrend here in the NASDAQ. But we should see this choppy action continue. Not expecting any major directional move here this week. We still got a pretty mixed bag in those mega cap names, so just look for some more choppy action here. We want to see this market try and climb back up here into the top end of this range to keep this thing range bound and not put too much downward pressure here on the general market and these indexes. However, we are seeing a little bit of more weakness here today in the Dow, as we did break down towards these weekly lows and finish the day below that prior day low. At the moment here, the Dow still does trade above the 50. It's the last index still trading above its 50-day average here, so that is an important line to respect here as long as this yearly opening range. We still have this market is still where the strength is going to be and where the current leader here at the moment. But if we do start to see some weakness down here below this 50-day average and we do start to take out these prior month lows, we could see some more selling pressure start to kick in here across the general market as a whole. And if we do start to see some weakness spill over into this Dow index as well, could start to take the rest of this market with it. We just want to make sure that each of these indexes are able to keep defending these near-term lows we've had over the last 3-4 months here, and our major averages here on the Dow, that is. But we are seeing a little bit of shakiness here. Still not a time to be fully invested. Keep looking in those areas of the market that we are still seeing strength. But as far as these indexes go, it's still not a very clean picture here, and your money is better spent elsewhere at the moment. So look for a better place to be putting your money now, or just be a little bit defensive while these indexes clean up these charts a little bit, and we have a little bit better picture and a little bit more potential here for some upside. In the meantime, let this market continue to chop up, and don't get yourself stuck in the chop, and we'll live to trade another day. That's what we got for tonight. Thank you everyone for tuning in. That's all we got for this week as well. Tomorrow we're off for Friday. It has been a short week with the holiday on Monday, but we will be catching you over the weekend for our Week 8 Market Watch. Thanks everyone for tuning in this week. Catch you guys over the weekend.